Okay, ladies and gentlemen, we are here to talk about the incredible fours. Okay, fours meaning if your birthday falls on the day 4, 13, or 22nd. Now, these women and men, they all have something in common, and it's gonna blow your mind. The thing that fours have in common is that they all become the face, the standard, the blueprint, the benchmark. They all are the trendsetters. They are some of the first of the first to do it. Like Andre 3000 said, you are the prototype. They are the prototype, okay? We're talking Beyoncé, Taylor Swift, Naomi Campbell, Lindsay Lohan, Selena Gomez, Meryl Streep, Scarlett Johansson, Whoopi Goldberg, Mary-Kate and Ashley Olsen, Drew Barrymore, okay? Did I say Hailey Bieber? Did I say Dua Lipa? Reese Witherspoon, Cyndi Lauper. I mean, the list goes on and on and on. The thing I love about four women is that they give the appearance that they are this sort of like pristine, virgin, pure, the ideal wife, right? They give off this aura. They give off that it girl aura. However, they are quote unquote technically considered, right, the standard, the blueprint, or they have this mystique of perfection. However, what they really are is they are all bosses. They are go-getters. You will not find a four that's not the leader of their ship. You will not find a four. You will be pressed to find a four who doesn't have an army around them. Okay, and even fours who come from small scale, they're not famous. They're not, somebody that everyone knows, like myself, right? Fours still create around them order and organization. And we're gonna get into it. All right, we're gonna get into all the traits of a four right now. And let me not forget to name some male fours, like Steve Irwin, who everyone knows Steve Irwin. He's one of the pioneers of wildlife education. All right, Jay-Z. When it comes to fours, think about how people talk about fours. They'll say things like, this girl's gonna be the next Beyonce. She's the next Taylor Swift. He's the next Jay-Z. She's today's modern day Naomi Campbell, right? Some male fours are George Washington, Danny Glover, William Dafoe, Logic, the rapper, Patrick Dempsey, Liam Hemsworth. Think about what the number 4 represents when you think about all 4 walls in a home, or all 4 seasons, or 4 cardinal directions, or 4 corners of a building. 4 stands for foundation, security, sturdiness, reliability, strength. Anyone who's born on a day 4, which is either 4, 13, or 22nd, they all have a really strong reliability to them. So much so that they build trust in any industry that they have. And when it comes to business, business is all about who you trust. People who are born on the day 4, they will get the deal, they will get the job done. Notice Lindsay Lohan, Meryl Streep, all these people that I'm mentioning, they will become the person that is the face of something. They are highly trusted people. They are highly organized people. They are highly dependable, highly reliable. Okay, if a 4 tells you that they're going to do something, they are going to do that thing when they said they're going to do it. And if they don't do it the exact moment they said they're going to do it, they'll beat themselves up about it. They are that meticulous when it comes to business, when it comes to reliability, when it comes to sturdiness and groundedness. They are sort of like the earth of the numbers. They are very highly grounded in logic and practicality. They do things according to what makes the most sense, and they will get it done in the most efficient, effective way possible. And they will obsess about that thing until it is done. So these people are great with logic, finance, planning, anything that deals with organizing something. So they're great with engineering, creating a solution for a problem that's a long-standing problem. They will figure out. They will be the ones to try to figure out what's the solution here. They're the ones in the family that people go to not only to create a solution, but also to create direction. They're the leaders that people go to, that people trust, that people say, you know what, they'll know what to do. So not only are they the builders and organizers, but they're also the protectors. They're highly protective of the people that they love. You can sort of see them as like the Cancer of the numbers. They are very clingy and very attached to the things that they really care about. They'll hold tight to those things. But now the funny flip side of that is that there's the negative side or negative component to being so detail oriented, to being such a perfectionist and making sure everything is just so, right? The flip side challenge to that is that they can be very rigid and not flexible. They can be very controlling and stubborn and my way or the highway. Or if it's not done my way, then that's not the right way. So that stubbornness can lead to being highly critical of not only themselves, but of other people. If a four hasn't conquered that sort of dark shadow side of themselves, they will get engulfed into all those dark things like stubbornness, like controlling. But if they have been able to balance themselves out, create a little bit more harmony within themselves, then they are more of the leader. They are more of that loving leader that we see in some of the fours that I mentioned. They can become detached emotionally, which is interesting because when they really care about something, they are very attached. But then that attachment to, let's say, their work, right, that can make them become detached to their love life, all right? So a lot of fours are accused of being workaholics. They'll work, 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 work. Four is the number of work and of hard work and reliability, but that comes with somebody who they really will work themselves to the ground. They will work 20-hour days and still wake up 4 hours later and do it again. So people who are fours have to learn to really balance out work and personal life. And that's the flip side, is that people will assume that fours are like the perfect wife, and they can be when they're very attentive and in the home. But more times than not, fours will be the women that are working their butts off and being the boss and being the leader of their own company and running things, calling the shots. And that can intimidate a lot of men. But men who are inspired by that and see that as like a wow, right? They're going to be the men who go after the fours, which usually women who are born on the day four, they don't have a problem with attracting the opposite sex, right? Or they don't have a problem with attracting anybody. They're highly attractive because they move in a circle that is an institution in and of itself. They don't necessarily need an institution to make themselves move like an institution, because a four has an institutional mindset. That's just the way that they move. Their biggest flex is that they can create order out of any chaos. But one of their biggest lessons is that they need to learn flexibility. They need to learn flexibility in order to move in spaces where they don't feel the need to control everything around them. Because that is a four. They genuinely feel like, if I don't organize this room in the way that I see fit, things are not going to run the way it's supposed to, right? So they have an idea in their minds of what things are supposed to look like, and they need to learn the flexibility to understand that things can look many ways. Things can turn out many ways and still be good, still be okay. And we see that in a lot of the names that I mentioned. For example, there's a lot of videos of Beyoncé being very specific on the way she wants a show to be run, and she doesn't feel like she can sort of delegate those tasks. She feels like she has to sort of micromanage. But the more that a four is in their institution or in their industry and learns more and more and more, the older they get, the more flexible they become. That is their life lesson, is that they have to learn that flexibility out of that rigidity. And finally, when it comes to their love language, okay, a four's love language is technically acts of service and time under the guise of meticulousness. So as long as the acts of service and the time is very intentional, very much this person knows me so well, they're doing the things that they know I love, showing me affection the way that I love to be shown affection. They love to know that the person that they're with is paying attention to exactly who they are and doing the things based off of who they are. Because they're so meticulous and can give love in such a special way, they expect that love to be given back in the same special, tailored way to them. So they're very much attentive and romantic within their attentiveness. And that's pretty much it. Are you a four? Do you know someone who's a four? Is your partner a four? Do you have a parent that's a four, a bestie? or a coworker, let me know in the comments below. And quick note, a pure 4, a 13-4, and a 22-4 do have different traits. A 13-4 is a 1-3-4, so they'll have some traits of a 1, a 3, and a 4. And a 22-4 will have the traits of a 2 and a 4. And a 22-4 is technically a master number 4. And they have a little bit more capacity to live in all these spaces that I just mentioned, of that builder, that creator. It'll be less of a challenge for the 22-4 to get those things done, to move throughout the world in a way that feels like it's easy or like they're a master at their craft, right? Pure 4s are more workaholics. The 1-3-4, they're a little bit more playful. They have that leader energy like the 1. And the 22-4s are very emotional, romantic, lovey-dovey, because 2s are that passionate, diplomatic number, peaceful, harmonic number. I can get really into those, but I'm not going to do that for this video. If you want to learn more about the differences between the different 4s, let me know in the comments below. But thank you so much for watching. It's your girl Sakina Iman, and check out my other numerology videos. Peace.